The apple of friendship. Once, in the bustling city of New York, there lived two boys, Joe and Bill. They were the best of friends, though life had not been kind to them. Both were poor, forced to scrape by with odd jobs and whatever they could find on the streets to fill their bellies. Yet despite their hardships, they shared a bond stronger than any treasure, friendship. One cold winter's morning, as the bitter wind howled through the streets, Joe and Bill walked side by side, their breath forming small clouds in the freezing air. The city was busy, but their eyes were fixed on the ground, searching for any scraps of food or opportunity to earn a few pennies. The chill of the morning gnawed at their bones, and hunger sat heavy in their stomachs. As they wandered down a side street, Joe's eyes caught something glistening in the snow. He bent down quickly, his hands stiff from the cold, and pulled an apple from the ground. It was small, but it looked fresh, its bright red skin gleaming against the dull, gray cityscape. "Hey, Bill. Look what I found!" Joe exclaimed, holding up the apple as if it were a rare treasure. Bill, who had been walking with his head low, stopped and glanced over at Joe. His face was thin and pale from hunger, his clothes ragged and worn. "I got nothing today," Bill said, his voice filled with frustration and sorrow. He had searched high and low but found no food, no work, and no hope. "Here, you take it," Joe said quietly. Bill hesitated, his hand trembling slightly as he reached for the apple. "No, Joe, you found it. You should eat it. You're stronger than I am. You can handle the hunger." Joe shook his head firmly, his expression serious. "No, Bill. You need it more than I do. I'm strong, but you," he paused, his voice softening. "You're my friend. You need to eat. I can go without."
Bill looked at the apple, then back at Joe, his mind struggling with the kindness his friend was offering. He had always seen Joe as the strong one, the one who could endure anything. But now, as he looked into Joe's eyes, he saw something different, something deeper. Joe wasn't offering the apple because he had too much, he was offering it because he cared, because friendship meant more to him than his own hunger. "I don't deserve it," Bill murmured, feeling the weight of Joe's generosity in his chest. Joe smiled softly, his voice gentle but resolute. "You do deserve it. A true friend doesn't measure what they give by how much they have, but by how much they care. You're my brother, Bill. And I'd give you everything if it means you don't go hungry."
Tears welled up in Bill's eyes as he took the apple. He bit into it, the sweet juice filling his mouth, but it wasn't just the taste of the fruit that touched him, it was the taste of Joe's selflessness, of a bond stronger than hunger. As the boys sat together on an old park bench, side by side, the cold winter wind seemed a little less biting, the world around them a little less harsh. In that moment, the warmth of their friendship was more comforting than any meal could have been. "Thank you, Joe," Bill whispered between bites, his voice thick with emotion. Joe nodded, his smile never wavering. "That's what friends are for." And so, despite the hardships they faced, Joe and Bill's friendship remained unbreakable. In a world where so many people turned their backs on others, they knew that no matter how little they had, they would always have each other. As they walked down the street together, the apple long finished, the two boys shared a silent understanding. They had nothing in the world, but they had everything they needed: true friendship. Moral: true friends always care for each other, no matter the circumstances.